X-Men 97. I honestly don't know why I allowed myself to get even a tad bit excited for this show, knowing that Disney and Marvel have been putting out nothing but straight gerbil pellets lately. I guess it's just because I'm a 90s baby. And the X-Men animated series played such a big part in my childhood. Maybe it's because this is a cartoon that's somewhat separated from the MCU. I thought that at the very least, maybe they would try. Maybe they would put out just one thing that everyone could enjoy. Maybe they would go back to the 90s. Maybe they would show this show proper justice. But no. The folks over at Disney and Marvel simply cannot help themselves. They put out the trailer the other day, and the internet went crazy. Everyone was excited for about 20 minutes. Because after this trailer was out for about 20 to 30 minutes, after everyone, even the people who have been very critical against Marvel and Disney lately, even those people were like, hey, this trailer doesn't look bad. But then they had to hit you with it. They simply could not help themselves. As the trailer was getting more and more views, and as people started to talk about it online, suddenly they had to smack us right in the face with a good dose of modern day reality. They announced that Morph is going to be non-binary in the show. And there it is. There it goes. Any hopes that this show was going to be good went straight out of the window. Now, when I first saw the trailer, I was pleased. It looks different. The animation isn't the animation I'm used to, but okay, it looks like something I could work with. But when I slowed the trailer down, I see that they're going to be part of like that Hellfire Gala, like the gayest storyline in X-Men history. These days, the X-Men aren't fighting Toad. Wolverine's not fighting the Juggernaut. No, the X-Men are all dressing up in gay outfits and attending fashion shows. That's like the main things that are happening in the modern day X-Men comics. And of course, they got to take all of that gay nonsense and pump it right into this 90s cartoon, or this reboot of a 90s cartoon. Now, this show is still supposed to take place in the 90s. So as we're sitting here trying to believe that we're in the 90s, we're going to have a non-binary character dancing around the screen, even though no one even heard of non-binary in the 90s. And they damn sure didn't hear of it in the 60s when the X-Men were created. No, non-binary is like this new thing that woke white women created so they can feel like they're part of a marginalized group that's discriminated against. That's basically what non-binary is. It's not even real. I don't acknowledge it as real. It's just part of woke weirdos' imaginations, right? They sit in their bedrooms, they create new genders, they create new pronouns, they're zimzers, they identify as trees, they pretend to be furry animals, and I simply don't want any of that injected into my X-Men cartoon. The problem isn't even necessarily that this guy is that Morph is going to be non-binary. The problem is that when they make these announcements, you already know where they're going at with this. At some point in the X-Men cartoon, they're going to pause. We're not going to see them fighting Magneto. No, we're going to be preached to about how hard life is for a non-binary mutant. They're going to inject this show with modern day nonsense, modern day politics, modern day social issues that have no place in entertainment at all, let alone an entertainment period piece from the 90s. None of this stuff was talked about in the 90s. None of this stuff even existed. Most little boys and little girls knew that they were little boys and little girls. They didn't pretend to be the opposite gender. This is a mental illness that has been pushed on children by their mentally ill parents in recent years, because everyone is desperate for attention. Everyone is desperate to be a victim. Everyone wants to be part of a group that is discriminated against. And you'll get your usual idiots in the comments. You'll get your usual idiots with their idiotic talking points saying that, oh, X-Men was always about bigotry, hatred, and discrimination. And that's true. The X-Men was about people who were actually discriminated against. It was about actual discrimination. If you sit in your room and create new pronouns and other people don't know what you're talking about, that's not you being discriminated against. If I sit here on this video and say, guess what? I'm not a person, I'm a cactus. And one of you say, hey, you're not a cactus, dude. You're a human, a fat one at that. That's not you discriminating against me. That's you being honest. So no, non-binary people are not being discriminated against. People are not just going along with your delusions. People are not living in the fairy tale world that you created in your imagination. But that's what these people think. They think they can compare themselves to what other discriminated groups went through. They think they can compare themselves to the civil rights era. They think they can compare themselves to people who were discriminated against because of the color of their skin, something they cannot help, a way they were born that way. Yet these weirdos in modern day society, they think that they're part of this super discriminated against group because they literally create new things for them to be discriminated against about. Like, hey, let me just create some type of new term. I'm obviously a woman, but I'm going to come out here. I'm going to say I'm a dude. I'm going to do all this. I'm going to do all that. And then when people give me a reality check, it's them discriminating against me. No, it is not the same at all. And this has no place in an X-Men cartoon. But if Morph being non-binary is not enough, they also say that he has a weird, a unique relationship with Wolverine. So in other words, there's going to be like a gay little bromance there. Maybe Wolverine is digging Jean, but Morph, he just wants to dig into Wolverine's jeans. If you know what I mean there. And no, that's not a poem, but I can turn it into one if anyone is interested in purchasing a new poem book. But it's just yet another example of how these people simply cannot help themselves. They have to make everything lame and gay. They have to ruin everything. And at this point, we have enough examples. People aren't showing up to see the movies anymore. People are unsubscribing from Disney Plus. I can't remember the last MCU movie I saw in theaters. It might have been Spider-Man No Way Home. It's been a while. And that's weird for me because I'm someone who is always there. Not on opening day, but on preview night. Right off screen, I have nothing but a ton of Marvel, X-Men, Spider-Man omnibuses, graphic novels out the wazoo, slabs, graded comics. I'm all about Marvel comics. It's always been a big part of my life. But when you manage to make someone like me not care anymore, you don't have much further to sink. Honestly, sitting down and making this video was a struggle. You can look at my channel. It's been months since I complained about what Hollywood was doing because I've grown tired of it. I don't even care enough to complain anymore. That's how bad it is. The only reason I'm here before you all today with this video is because X-Men, the X-Men animated series, it was something that was very special to me. And seeing how they're going to just up and ruin this for no reason at all. I do believe there are competent people out there that could make this a good cartoon, but they refuse to do so because it has to be lame and gay just like them. Everything has to be lame and gay just like them. So that's why I'm sitting down to make this video today. Because yeah, I'm used to Star Wars being ruined now. I'm used to the Marvel movies being ruined now. But now you're digging up old cartoons that we watched in the 90s to inject them with a bunch of gay and lame stuff. It's just sickening. It's so tiresome. And I think that we've reached the point where they don't have much left. How many corpses of old TV shows and movies that we used to love, how many of these corpses are you going to dig up and defile? You've already ruined all of your modern day properties. No one cares anymore. And now you're going back trying to make people not care about the things that they used to care about. Some of the only reason why a lot of people have Disney Plus, it's not for their new stuff. It's so you can go back and watch the old X-Men series. It's so you can go back and watch Spider-Man, That's So Raven, Lizzie McGuire. It's so you can watch old entertainment. It's not for the new stuff. But now that they're digging up the old stuff and ruining that, they're not going to have anywhere left to turn. They're going to have a lame gay audience that doesn't buy any of their products, that obviously doesn't have enough money to go to the theaters because the movies are bombing, and that's what they'll be left with. And we will be left here laughing, crying at the same time, but it will be bittersweet. But for now, I can confidently say that I am not excited about the X-Men 97 series. I'm sure it's going to be a complete woke piece of garbage. And I mean, it's really sad, but it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts about this, though, down in the comments below. While you're down there, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all soon in the next one.